Today is May 25th, 2025. I'm up here at the former Copco reservoir. Thought I'd kind of pop up today, kind of see what everything's looking like. The poppies are all definitely blooming and bright and orange. It looks like since I was up here, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, it looks like the river is definitely lower than it was the last time I was up here. Can already start to see some benches forming. In this area, last time I was up here, it looks like there's still equipment up here. Looks like that they were putting in a boat launch right there, an access point to get in and out of the river. That area is still currently closed off due to it being a construction site. And then of course the trees, you could probably see those better. Those are the ones that have started dying since they breached the dams. Birds are definitely out chirping up here. Walk down the road a little bit. You can see where all the equipment is parked. Kind of zoom in further upstream. I'm not going to go very far this way today. If you actually look over there on the mountainside, I can see visually from over here where more of the trees are starting to die. I don't know if it's really picking it up on my video though. But I can see some of them are starting to turn brown. I've talked to people that said that a lot of their trees are dying. They've started to die after the breaches. And that's about as far as I can get around the bend from here. I think I'm gonna pause it and we'll drive through and see what the springs are looking like. So I'm driving down the road in my car. Figured we'd see kind of what the springs look like. I'm gonna pause. Had to pause it. There's a couple bicyclers coming through. But you can see that the springs are still flowing pretty good, which we do still have some snowpack. All of our snowpack hasn't melted yet. We've just recently started hitting the 80s this week. I think by the end of this coming week we're supposed to be in the 90s. I think one day we could be as hot as 95 or 96. And this is what it's looking like from over here. You can see that the ground is still pretty well cracked. I'm going to see if I can't zoom in so you can see what it's looking like up in that part of the Klamath River. And what I mean by cracked is this area down here, if you look, is still pretty well all cracked. Kind of what it's looking like upstream from here. So I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to continue on down the road. So I'm continuing from here. You can see that there's water all along the side of the road here. Sorry, I'm probably going too fast in my car for you to see. Definitely lots of critters, bugs, birds in this area. It's definitely very lively up here. Here are the springs right here. Gotta slow down for the potholes, but you can see that there's still water flowing down the side of the road here. You can see where some of the trees were down over the road this year that they've cut and put to the side. Can't really see on that side very well out to the former lake. Another tree that was down this year. Still see there's some water. Another spring right here. So the springs are still running, like I said, pretty good. I'm hoping you guys can see everything okay. Still plenty of water here flowing. I'm gonna pause it. So I just came out of the area of the springs. It's definitely a lot more grass growth since the last time I was up in this area. The poppies are definitely shining bright today. All the orange that you see is the poppies that they've planted. And this drainage right here that I'm in front of would be the Beaver Creek, the newer, I guess you could say, East Beaver Creek, because there is a Beaver Creek that's located further down the Klamath River. So like I said, all the areas where you see the orange poppies is in the area that they've planted. And up that direction would be looking towards the town of Copco. I'm not going that far today. And I don't know if you can see on the hillside very good in the camera. I can see it with my eyes. But there's a lot of dead trees and timbers up in that region as well. Like I said, most of these trees have started dying after they've reached the dams. And they're continuing to die off. Sorry, it gets a little shaky the more I zoom in. Zoom out. I'm not sure what this little drainage is right here. There wasn't water the last time I was up here. But over on that other side, kind of where you can see the tops of the dead trees, is where Beaver Creek flows through. And I can see that the trees are still up in there that they haven't used, which is right there. Oops, sorry, it's zooming the wrong way on me. That would be looking up into the region where the dam was. The Copco Dam is up through that canyon. You can't see the dam from here on either side. It's up through that canyon more. But when you look from over here, I don't know if you can see all the dead trees better from over here. It's hard for me to see what my camera shows. And actually, if you look farther into that canyon, there's more dead trees up in there as well. And that's where they were working on the boat launch area last weekend. I can kind of see it better. I don't know how clear it's going to be zooming in that far. But that's where the new access boat launch area is going to be. And that's the access that used to come down to that day use area. I'm assuming once the boat launch is done, then we'll be able to access that. Right now it's closed off again today. So anyways, I'm going to venture down the road just a little bit further. So this is kind of looking, that's that little drainage. I'm not sure what that drainage is. Almost looks like there could be a road way down there. Probably from where they're coming in up Beaver Creek. It kind of looks like it goes all the way around, which comes in over just above those trees where the dead trees are. That would be Beaver Creek. Up in the distance, that's the Klamath River. It looks like Beaver Creek does have water still flowing in it. Not sure if you could see it in this part. There it is. Pause it from here, and I'm going to go up and around the bend. As I came up and around the bend, I could see that there's a newly put in road right there. And if you look, it looks like there's some sort of a piece of machinery sitting down there. You can just barely see the top of it. But anyways, this is the Beaver Creek drainage. I'm going to go around and beyond that point just above that piece of machinery. So I came up and around the bend, and this is that road that I was just looking at that they've cut in coming up Beaver Creek. Seen a few vultures flying around since I've been up here. So I'm going to go on and around the bend. So I'm just above where I was. The road is just around that corner. I think the piece of equipment is sitting right down there somewhere. You can't see it from here. But this would be the Beaver Creek drainage. And it looks like they brought some of the trees in here as well. So I know that down at Iron Gate, this week, they saw helicopters flying in trees. They're up Camp Creek. I haven't gotten to that area to video yet, but the trees that you see right there that's got all the greenery still on them, those were probably flown in sometime this week. I'll show you the videos. I'm gonna head back down towards Iron Gate once I'm done here, but it appears that they have flown some up in this area as well. Somebody that did some research and found some information so that it costs, and I don't know what it would cost to fly them in up here, but at least down at the Camp Creek site, it costs at least $2,500 a tree to fly them in. And actually, if I look on down the drainage, I can see more trees that they've flown in down there. Like I said, I'm not sure if it was this week. I'm assuming it's this week because I do know that they were flying trees in down around the Iron Gate area. Like I said, Camp Creek, I saw some at Jenny Creek on my way up. Sorry if I'm deviating, the wind's blowing me a little bit. But those are the trees that they've flown in. I'm not sure why, because we still have the trees that they brought in last year, and maybe somebody can explain why they brought in more trees. But we still have those trees right there that they brought in last year, and those, I was told, cost at least $2,000 a tree to be brought in. So, not sure what they're doing with all the trees and why they would bring in more when they haven't used the ones that they brought in last year. If I look, it almost looks like, I'm trying to gauge it, looks like they have some right there as well. Again, this is the Beaver Creek, the new Beaver Creek drainage. I'm assuming that they'll call this one East Beaver Creek. Not sure what they've been doing down here in the bottom. Looks like they've been working up the ground. There is some water flowing in Beaver Creek. Wondering if they're trying to get rid of the cracked ground. All the poppies that you see is what was planted. They're nice and bright and orange today. Anyways, I'm going to pause it and we'll go see what it looks like up in the head. So I'm getting towards the head of Beaver Creek. This is what it's looking like a little further upstream. I can hear the water flowing down in there. Tell where they've been going in and out over on this side. All right, so that's the tour for up here today. This is as far as I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head back out, go in the other direction. So I'll see you on my next clip.